Hello everyone, welcome to another short and interesting video. In this video, we will learn about web development languages, what and why basics. We will learn what is HTML and why we use it, what is CSS and why we use it, what is JavaScript and why we use it. We will not be covering the how part in this video, that is for later videos. So let's get started. So let's explore and dissect this example web page to better understand what role HTML plays, what role CSS styles plays. CSS stands for cascading style sheets, and what role JavaScript plays. Let's see. So as you can see that the page we were looking at actually is made up of 3 layers. The web page with all layers HTML, CSS, JavaScript, the web page with HTML and CSS only, no behavior and interaction, and a simple HTML web page, no style, no behavior and no interaction. Here is another view of the same thing, just the HTML layer. You can see the HTML code and the actual result, and then you see when we apply CSS layer to it how it looks, and when we add the JavaScript layer, how does that behave. Let's give it a try and click the spin button. There you see that the HTML page, which had the 3 layers, the HTML and then CSS, which gives us a nice style, and then the JavaScript, which gives us a behavior. Now let's look at the HTML layer. So the HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Its role is to define the structure and layout of the web page. And its file extensions are either .html or .html. So they both goes .htm or .html. For example, you might see something like index.html. And here is the actual code. For example, here we see the HTML text in a file. And when we render this in a browser, that HTML looks like this. Now let's look at the CSS. So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It is a design language. It is used to make web pages look more appealing instead of plain, uninspiring text web page. Its role is to define style of a web page. Its extension is CSS.css, for example, style.css. And here you can see that we have the HTML page, and when we apply the CSS to it, the CSS styles to it, so the same page which was looking very uninspiring, now suddenly the exact same page, exact same HTML looks really colorful. Now let's look at the JavaScript. So JavaScript is a scripting language. It is used to make web pages interactive. What does that mean? It means it gives the web pages the behavior, the action. The users are able to interact with the web pages. The JavaScript files have .js extension. It is often abbreviated as JS. Its role is to define the behavior. For example, script.js. And here let's look at the exact same HTML page. We see that when we render that page, it looks very uninspiring, but when we add CSS to it, the same web page looks really colorful and inspiring. And then when we add the JavaScript to it, we see that now we can interact with it. All right, let's see a quick demo. Here is the HTML page, and you see that we don't have any styling applied to it. We do have classes defined, but there are no styles here. There is no JavaScript, and when we render this page, you can see that it looks very simple, very uninspiring, and does not have any interaction or behavior. If I click on the spin button, it doesn't do anything. Now let's apply the styling. And I have created this style in the style.css with the CSS code in it with different colors and for different classes which we have seen in this page, for example, main box and all that. So now if we apply this style, let's see this same page. Now if we refresh it, how it looks. Look at it. It suddenly looks completely different page, even though it's same HTML, but now just applying those styles make it look really inspiring and amazing. Let's see if we can click on this pin button, even though I don't have any JavaScript, if it does anything. You can see it. If I click on this pin button, there is no interaction, no behavior. So the CSS just makes the page really beautiful, colorful, and inspiring. Now let's add some JavaScript to it and see what happens. So here is the JavaScript, and it's a pretty simple JavaScript for this example. Basically all it does is spin that wheel. It creates the effect of that basically animation that the wheel is spinning. So let's see if we refresh the page now, and if we can click on the spin button and if it will do anything. There you go. That was a quick demo about the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. What is HTML? HTML is the markup language. It lets us define the structure and the layout of the page. And when we use HTML just by its own, it's very uninspiring, it's simple, it doesn't look really awesome. But when we add styling, CSS style to it, it starts looking really awesome, and it starts shining, the same web page starts shining. And when we add the JavaScript to it, it gives the same page the behavior, and the user can interact with it. So that's a quick introduction about the basic concepts, what is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We hope you enjoyed this short video about the basic concepts of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Thank you for watching this video. Our next video in this series is going to be about learning to program using JavaScript. Basically what I'm gonna teach anyone who has no experience in coding, doesn't know anything about coding, will teach the basic concepts of coding or programming using JavaScript. So please give us your feedback in comment section below. Please click the like button, share with your family and friends, and if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe now. Thank you again. See you next time.